Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you guys. So today is 17th of October and let's start with the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion for today. So guys, I would all like to tell you that you can download the explainer notes of this particular session from Telegram channel. Link for Telegram channel is given in description box in YouTube. Now first of all, let's take the overview of entire newspaper and let's understand that which are the important articles uh, for our examination in the today's paper. So here we have the Delhi edition. Let's take the overview. So, guys, here first article Supreme Court refers electoral bond case to five-judge constitution bench. So, guys, we have seen in the last week also that electoral bond issue will be taken up by Supreme Court. What are electoral bonds? What are electoral bonds? Electoral bonds are simply financial instruments through which money can be donated to the political party. For example, I want to donate 1 lakh rupees to a political party. I will go to the State Bank of India, will give 1 lakh rupees to State Bank of India uh, through electronic transfer or through check, and State Bank of India will give me a document, this paper, electoral bond. This bond I will give to my political party, favorite political party, and that favorite political party of mine can redeem this particular bond in their bank account. Now there is one problem that there is no name written that who has given this bond to the political party. My name will not be written here. So therefore, it has been said that by this a lot of anonymous political funding will come, and we will not know that which corporate house is actually funding the political elections. So because of this, transparency was a big issue. It was said that electoral bonds will defeat the idea of free and fair elections. So therefore, it was criticized. Okay, and here we see that different political parties, etc., different organizations, they have moved to, for example, Association of Democratic Reforms, Common Cause, they have moved to Supreme Court, saying that this anonymous, saying this particular thing, that anonymous and unlimited political donations will come. Okay, so this is something that has happened. Okay, then guys, 95% petitioner says that petitions in 95% of electoral bonds sold have been in favor of one political party. So therefore, Supreme Court will take up this particular matter. And one thing, guys, I want to tell you that as of now, you are not really to needed to track this particular development every day. This particular matter has been referred to five-judge bench. Now, this five-judge bench will be giving its judgment, its ruling. Then we will see when final judgment will come that what Supreme Court had said on this particular thing, can it be taken up or not. Till then, no need to go and follow every day. Then High Court acquits accused in Nithari killing, nothing important has been given. 26 Supreme Court declines plea to end 26-week pregnancy. There is one more article on this line, we'll take it up. Then after that, waking victim of flogging in Gujarat refused to settle for monetary relief. Again, not important. Then, guys, in the city regional section, we have these advertisements and the regional issues that have been there. Again, no need to go too much in detail in this particular thing. Okay, so guys, we'll be moving on. Again, these advertisements, tenders, etc., have been carried, and directly we reach to the editorial section. Okay, editorial section. Now, in editorial section, the Indian Himalayan region needs its own EIA. We'll take this particular article for examination. Then Congress. Now on the side, we have this article: Congress supplants the BJP as the key competitor in BRS in Telangana. Political article. No need to go too much in detail in this particular thing. Okay, then guys, further moving on, after that, again, delay as tactic. Okay, then confrontation, confronting the long term risk of AI, artificial intelligence. We'll take this particular article. Then here, for more Dalit Adivasi presence in India. So basically, guys, the article is talking about that how the opposition bloc, known by as India, it has come against the BJP. It has come against the BJP. Now it has been said that in this India bloc there is an absence of major Dalit parties that is there. Now, guys, I have read this entire article. Article is more in the political undertone. No need to go too much in detail in this particular article for examination. The Congress has misplaced confidence, again, not important for examination. Then, guys, we come to the next page, that is the text and context. Now, today article in text and context is talking about the Bangaloru's waste management plan. Now, just if I show you the overview of this particular article, now what type of details have largely been carried here? Okay, so for example, it is talking about what is the amount of waste that the city generates in a day. Okay, how much is the existing capacity of the waste processing facilities? Okay, why have locals called for the existing waste management? Now, what this article is talking about, the article is talking about the waste processing capacity, how much is being handled, and also numbers, data are being given. Now, guys, the article is very much specific to the city of Bangalore. And in UPSC examination on some specific cities, waste management plan, etc., questions are not asked. Okay, so the focus is very microscopic. For exam point of view, no need to go too much in this particular article. Then, guys, further moving on second page, we have this article on palliative care. We have this article on palliative care. Now, this is an important article for health. We'll take it. Then further moving on, center revokes IIPS director suspension after he resigns. Okay, CBI filed charge sheet against six. Okay, US based advocacy group raising voice for minority blocked on X, earlier called as Twitter. Again, these political articles etc. have been here. So guys, nothing relevant has been given in this particular direction in the both of these particular pages. Okay, then moving on, here we have article court declines abortion plea says it cannot stop the viable heartbeat of viable fetus. We'll take this particular article. Gaganyan's test flight to commence on 7 a.m. on October 21. Now, guys, understand this particular thing. Every test flight, course correction of every satellite mission is not important. However, some of the important missions that are being taken up, the key takeaways, for example, Aditya L1 was launched recently. What is Aditya L1? How Aditya L1? Okay. Uh, how it is going to solve the mysteries of the sun, all these things are something that is important, but every minor detail etc no need to go. Then wholesale price stayed almost flat in September, then corporate trends etc are being given here. Okay, now moving on, then guys we come to the sports page, and after the sports page, in science page there are some very good articles that come on few days, but some days there are core science articles that are coming, going into the core theoretical physics, okay, going discussing some research papers etc. Now today what article has come, how do some cancer cells survive chemo, scientists discover a way. So basically guys, a new finding has highlighted this particular thing, has highlighted the need for more research to uncover the ways in which cancer cells express or silence diseases. Now, guys, I have read this particular entire article. Okay, the article is talking about the reports that have been recently published, Okay, or that particular analysis is given for UPSC examination. The things that are important is the science and technology, application of science and technology. You are not required to core go into the research papers on medicine, research papers on cancer studies, etc. Okay, so I'll not advise you to go too much in detail in the article, because article is going and discussing too much of medical science related issues. Okay, and now we will be taking up discussion of all the relevant articles, but before starting up guys, I want to tell you that there are very few articles in today's newspaper which are actually relevant for examination. Now this happens on some days there will be a lot many articles, 13, 14 articles are there that we have taken. Also someday articles will be less. Fine. Now moving on, and let's discuss the articles one by one in detail. Every class we start with the GS quotation. So today we'll take the quotation from Gloria Steinem. Now Gloria Steinem says, a gender equal society would be one where the word gender does not exist, where everyone can be themselves. Where everyone can be themselves, the word gender does not exist. Now, let's understand this particular thing. So basically, guys, there are the two words. There are the two words. One is gender, fine, and other word is sex. Gender and sex. Now, what is the difference between gender and sex? Basically, sex is a physiological, biological difference between male and female. For example, female can conceive a child, male cannot conceive a child. Physiological features of male are different, females are different. So, division of humans on the basis of male and female, we get sex. We get sex. But then comes the next word, gender. What is gender? Gender is a sociological division of male and female, where male have been given, where male have been imposed with a certain particular type of personality, male have been imposed with certain features, female have been imposed with other features. So sociological division of society as man and women, sociological division of society as man and women, where man will be given some gender roles, women will be given some gender roles. Here the social inequality will enter. So problem is gender. Society divides male and female as man and women. Men are given specific gender roles, women are given specific gender roles, and often these gender roles are not based on idea of equality. Social inequality therefore enters. So problem is the gender. When gender will be removed, social inequalities will be removed. So this is the quotation. You can use it for society GS1, okay, as well as in essay you can use this particular idea. Okay, moving on, and let's take the first article. Now, so first article we have taken from text and context section, and article talks about palliative care, a way to reduce financial distress for people with life limiting diseases. Now this particular article will take up for GS paper number 2. GS paper number 2, health and related issues. Health and related issues. Now, first of all, let's take the background of this particular article, and then we'll going into the detail of this particular article. So basically, guys, the article is talking about that how health has not been focused still in India, even after a deadly pandemic of COVID-19 has happened. Before going on in this article, I would like to tell you some basic I would like to tell you some basic information. Listen very carefully. Now guys, when we talk about healthcare, healthcare could be of few types. Number one, there can be preventive healthcare. Number one, there can be preventive healthcare. Now preventive healthcare focuses on the things that a person should not altogether catch a disease. For example for example washing your hands frequently, wearing a face mask, in crowded places, getting your vaccines on the time. All this is the part of a preventive healthcare so that you altogether don't catch a disease. Then next is curative healthcare. So curative healthcare focuses on treatment of a disease once a person has caught a disease. For example, a person got dengue, then doctor will advise certain medications to cure that particular disease. That is curative healthcare. And then third is palliative healthcare. Palliative healthcare. Palliative healthcare. Now, what is palliative healthcare? Palliative healthcare is a particular branch of medicine which focuses on improving the quality of life of people which are suffering with life limiting diseases. Certain diseases are there whose treatment is not possible. Cancer, for example, certain types of cancer are there whose treatment at a particular stage is not possible. But when these people are suffering with a disease, they are in a lot of pain. At least we can give certain medications, we can give certain therapies that the quality of their life can be improved. So there palliative care comes. There is one more type of healthcare. Let's talk about that also. Geriatric healthcare. Geriatric healthcare. Now, what is geriatric healthcare? Geriatric healthcare is a special type of healthcare that is given to old people. That is given to old people so that old people's quality of life can be improved. For example, you might be knowing this particular thing that when people turn old, they develop many of joint pain problem will be there, hearing loss will be there, memory loss is there. So geriatric care is specifically to improve the quality of life of old people. I will write the spelling again if it is not clear. Geriatric care. Geriatric care. Okay, so these are the specific type of healthcare that is there. Now, this particular article is largely talking about the role of palliative care and how palliative care has not largely been discussed in India's healthcare regime. Now, article provides certain stats with respect to healthcare in India, and article provides this particular thing. Yes. Article provides this particular thing that when we talk about India, guys, a large number of Indians are just a hospital bill away from slipping in poverty. Okay, or sometimes the people are too poor to access the healthcare, too poor to access healthcare. And in India, when we talk about this particular thing, 3.8 crore people have become poor because of out of pocket expenditure. Let me tell you what is out of pocket expenditure. Now, out of pocket expenditure means out of total expenditure, how many expenditure is being spent which is out of pocket. Let me explain you by the help of an example. Example goes something like this. Example goes something like this. That suppose there is a family, and in this family, there is this one person, Mr. X. Mr. X got infected with TB. Got in Mr. X got infected with the TB. Now they have tried to take the treatment, though TB treatment is provided free of cost by the government. But let's say they went to some private facility, and for treating the TB, they need to spend 5 lakh rupees. They need to spend 5 lakh rupees. But this family has only 2 lakh rupees in their saving. Now, how 3 lakh rupees additional that is needed will be arranged? They will either take a loan, or will send some property, or will sell some gold, and by that they will be bringing this 3 lakh rupees. So this 3 lakh rupees is out of pocket expenditure. It is out of pocket expenditure. Okay, means expenditure that you have done on health, but you did not had money. You arranged money by taking loan, by selling some property, gold, etc. And when we talk about out of pocket expenditure in India, the article does not give, but I will give you some data. According to according to a study by United Nations, ILO, and our world in data, our world in data. Okay, so three organizations have carried a study across the countries tracking what is out of pocket expenditure. What three organizations? United Nations, ILO, and our world in data. And in context of India, they say out of pocket expenditure stands around 55%. Stands around 55%. Means every 100 rupees that are being spent on healthcare, 55 rupees is out of pocket. Now you might be knowing this particular thing, guys, that in India, healthcare is subsidized by the government, but you also know this thing, that how many government beds are there. At the end of the day, people end up in private hospitals for healthcare. And let's add one more point. Health insurance penetration. Do you know what is the health insurance penetration in India? 3.96%. 3.96% means more than 96% people don't have health care. So they don't have health care. Government facilities are not up to the mark. People also per capita income is not that much good. What happened? People end up in private hospitals, and out of pocket expenditure becomes very high, 55%. And now please keep these particular data in your mind, and if needed, please note it down also. Now, if you see, because of just healthcare expenditure, people are slipping in poverty. And we find this particular thing, that 5.5 crore people, 5.5 crore people, 5.5 crore people fall below the poverty line every year due to out of pocket expenditure, and out of these 5.5 crore, 3 crore people become poor only because of the expenditure on medicine, only because of the expenditure on medicine. So 5.5 crore becoming poor because of out of pocket, and 3 crore only on expenditure of medicine. So this is a very big and a problematic thing. Now moving on, guys. So today, when we talk about healthcare burden on India, non-communicable diseases are becoming particularly more problematic. And it has been said that non-communicable disease will push more and more people in poverty. Why? Because non-communicable diseases, often lifelong medications are to be taken. For example, a person suffering with diabetes. Okay, a very long period of medications will to be taken up. There will be the periodic health checkups that are to be taken up. So a large number of people will be pushed in poverty. Moreover, because of these recurring expenditures, a financial toxicity develops in entire family. Financial toxicity develops in entire family. What is financial toxicity? Because every month money has to be spent on healthcare. The family is always compromising on the essential expenditures. For example, education will be compromised. Compromise will be done on many other kind of a things, and household will be on the risk of bankruptcy. There will be the decreased treatment satisfaction, foregoing delay in seeking further medical care, poor quality of life. All these problems will lead to the financial toxicity. And when we talk about government's effort has not been up to the mark, because only 1.35% of India's GDP equivalent is being spent on health. So people, they are just left out to look at their own, to look themselves at their own. This is something that is going on. Now, often we say this particular thing, that often caregivers have to sell the assets, have to stop the education of children in order to continue the treatment of a person in the family who is suffering with some kind of a disease. Now, here comes the palliative care. Palliative care. What is palliative care? All the By the way, I have told you, palliative care is a branch of medicine that looks at improving the quality of life of those people who are having life limiting illness. Means the illness where quality of life will decline. Often treatment is not there. They are also called as terminal diseases such as cancers and certain other type of diseases, diabetes, heart diseases, etc. Now, it has been provided that in India, palliative care is not prioritized. Even many of you might not have heard this word palliative care. It is provided that palliative care can be provided by many ways. For example, outpatient visit. What is outpatient visit? The patients who are not living in a or who are not staying in the hospital, who are not admitted in a hospital, are coming from outside and just taking the consultation. Outpatient. So outpatient visit, people can come to hospital from time to time, can take certain medications, therapies by which quality of their life improves. Inpatient visits, people staying in the hospital, admitted within the hospital, they can avail palliative care. Home based care is the third one. Home based care means there will be the nurses, paramedics who will visit the homes of the patient, and at their home will provide them palliative care, therapies, medications, some other kind of medical treatments, etc. if it has to be given. Now, this home based palliative care, this is something which is largely missing in the context of India. And when we talk about the home based palliative care, it can solve a large number of problems. For example, it actually reduces the cost of seeking care. Home based patients are not required to go and visit the hospital every then and now. Okay. Then within the palliative care, also there are the other components. They are not taken up in India, but vocational rehabilitation and social reintegration. Now, often people who are bedridden, often people who are some terminal disease, certain types of cancer, they are completely cut off from society. They are cut off from any type of employment. How they can be again be given some meaningful employment which does not impact their health, they can be reintegrated back in society. This is also the focus of palliative care, but largely it is not much discussed in the context of India. Okay. Now, it has been provided that actually, when we talk about the idea of palliative care, it is not a new idea. This idea has been in existence for more than 40 years, has been more than 40 years, but still, awareness regarding the palliative care is very much less. Now, awareness even in the healthcare workers is very much less. General public is almost having no idea about the palliative care. And even guys, when we talk about palliative care, government hospitals have not prioritized because they don't have facility. Private care hospitals, they also have not prioritized on palliative care. Why? Because it takes a lot of expenditure and it does not makes a lot of money. It does not makes a lot of money for the hospitals. So even private hospitals have not taken. Now, government has taken up national program for palliative care, but funding for this particular program has been irregular, erratic. And because of this irregular and erratic funding of this particular program, it has again not been a very big success in the context of India. So it has been suggested that there should be regular funding. Now, often state governments don't have an idea that if they got funding 2 years back, again next round of funding will be there or not. So it leads to the issues that we cannot plan in advance that what type of infrastructure will be created to hire the doctors, whether we can hire them and can keep them on payroll for a long period of time. We don't know when the funding is not there. So regular fundings need to be provided. Palliative care needs to be reorganized, and government need to understand that it is a moral obligation of the health system to take care of the people who are suffering from life limiting disease. Their quality of health, how it can be improved, that is to be taken up. That is all about this particular article. I hope that you have understood it. Now moving to next article. Court declines. Court declines abortion plea, says it can't stop heartbeat of viable fetus. Now, this particular article, guys, we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 2, issues of social justice. Issues of social justice. Now, before going on in this particular article, let me tell you some basic background information that you should be knowing or that will help you to understand this particular article better. Now, background information is something like this. See, okay. So, guys, when we talk about abortion issue, okay, abortion has two type of viewpoints are there with respect to abortion. One is pro-choice viewpoint. One is pro-choice, and the second is pro-life. Second is pro-life. Now, what is the difference between pro-choice and pro-life? So when we talk about pro-choice viewpoint on abortion, it provides this particular thing that abortion should be allowed as a matter of right to a woman, because it is women who has to bear pregnancy for 9 months, and it is again the women who has to primarily rear the child that will be born. So women should be given complete freedom to decide that whether she wants to take forward pregnancy, whether she does not want to take pregnancy. If she does not want to take the pregnancy forward, abortion should be allowed to her as a matter of right. So women's choice to carry pregnancy is more important. So therefore, abortion, there should be no restriction on abortion. Give women free choice in deciding that. This particular argument flows out from that bodily autonomy is supreme. Bodily autonomy is supreme. Okay. So abortion should be given. But on another hand comes pro-life debate. Pro-life debate. Now, what this pro-life debate provides? Pro-life debate provides this particular thing that once a fetus has got consciousness, once a fetus has developed the heart, has developed the organ, then that fetus in itself is a human being, in itself is an independent life, and that independent life cannot be just taken, cannot be killed. It is simply like a murder. It is simply like a murder. So abortion should not be allowed. Abortion is a murder. Abortion is a murder. So this is something that has been the two viewpoints. Now when we talk about India, when we talk about India, it has been, now India has tried to balance both. How India has tried to balance both? We have come out with the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, MTP Act, Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. Now originally, we had the MTP Act 1971, but recently amendments have been brought, and we have now come with the MTP Act of 2021. MTP Act of 2021, which is the latest law. Now, what is MTP Act 2021 in major nutshell? Let me tell you that particular thing. So, MTP Act 2021 provides this particular thing that abortion till 20 week, till 20 week of pregnancy. Yes, guys, is voice audible now? Okay, guys, can you tell me that when the voice went out? I will repeat. Just tell me that from which point the voice was not audible. Yes, tell me from when the voice was not audible. MTP Act. Okay, fine. Okay, guys. So understand this particular thing that when we talk about the abortion in India, we have tried to regulate it with the help of the MTP Act. So we have now MTP Act 2021, which has replaced the MTP Act of 1971. And this MTP Act of 2021 provides that when we talk about abortion, abortion can be taken up by the women till 20 weeks. So till 20 weeks of pregnancy, on the basis of advice of one registered medical practitioner, abortion can be done. However, within 20 to 24 week, on the basis of advice of two registered medical practitioner, on the advice of two registered medical practitioner, abortion can be done. But after 24 week, if a woman wants to abort a child, after 24 weeks, she has to take the opinion of a state medical board. And only there are two conditions on which the pregnancy can be aborted. What are these conditions? Number one, if carrying the abortion, will threaten the life of the mother. If carrying the abortion will threaten the life of the mother. Or second, if the child that is the child that is in the womb of the mother, that child has developed some severe abnormalities. If child have some severe abnormalities. If child has some severe abnormalities. So only in these two particular cases, the abortion can be allowed after 24 week. So this is some background that you need to know first. Now we will go in this particular article. Before this background, this article will not make much of sense for you. So I hope this particular background is clear. This particular background I hope is clear. Okay, now moving on. So basically guys, what has happened, one particular case has come to Supreme Court. And what is this particular case? Let's understand this particular thing. So basically there is a woman who is 26 week pregnant, she is married, and already she is the mother of two children. Now she has become pregnant, and she has become pregnant. 26 weeks pregnancy is already there. Now this particular woman has approached to Supreme Court, saying this particular thing, that I want to abort the pregnancy. Now this matter was going on in Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has declined the abortion permission to this woman. Supreme Court had said that you cannot abort this particular child. Now why Supreme Court had said this particular thing? Let's understand. Now Supreme Court has provided this particular thing, that we cannot allow you to abort because there is a viable baby. What is the meaning of viable baby? Understand. Number one, 26 weeks have already happened. This particular child has developed the heartbeat. This particular child's organs have been developed, and this child is healthy. There is no abnormality in this child. Even this particular child is not posing any danger to the life of the mother. Okay, if pregnancy is carried to the full term, a healthy child will be born, and it has also started to take a shape like a human being. So there is this viable baby. So they say that though we respect the right of the women, but we cannot be the blind to the right of the other life, that is a child that has developed a heartbeat and is a viable one. Okay, now Supreme Court provide this particular thing, that when we read the MTP Act section 5, it allows abortion. Section 5, it allows abortion only if pregnancy poses an actual physical or immediate danger to women's life, health. Okay, now if you see, now I told you that if the life of the women will be impacted by pregnancy, or if the child will be born by abnormalities, after 24 weeks, abortion can be taken up. But neither here the life is impacted of the women, nor the child has certain abnormalities. So Supreme Court has provided this particular thing, that we respect Article 21, which upholds an individual's fundamental right to a dignified, meaningful life. This right is available to mother, but this right is also available to the child. So therefore, keeping in mind all these particular things, Section 5, Article 21, Supreme Court has decided not to allow the women to go for the abortion, because already it is more than 26 weeks. Okay, and those specific conditions under which the abortion can be taken up, it is not being applied here. So this is guys all about it. I hope that you have understood it. Now moving on to the next article. Good morning, sir. I recently began studying for UPSC, but I have no background in social sciences. When I watch videos or speak to people, they always tell me that I can finish Lakshmikant in a month. Sir, how can I finish a book that big in just a month? It demotivates me. Okay, Aditi and others also who have similar things, people saying them complete Lakshmikant in 1 month, complete spectrum in 10 days. Understand this particular thing. Understand this particular thing that, guys, everybody's pace of learning, everybody's pace of understanding is different. It is not possible that everybody can have a same pace of learning, same pace of understanding. If you are a beginner and let's say your plan is to give UPSC in 2025, or you are just starting up, no need to go by the standards that what other people are telling you. Find what is your pace of learning, and with your pace of learning you should approach the things. There is no golden rule that you should do this book in 1 day, this you do this book but in 2 days. Okay, that is one thing. However, my point is also again moving on this thing, that finishing Lakshmikant in 1 month is possible also if you dedicatedly give every day 4 5 hours. Then 1 month you can do that particular thing. But you did not need to get demoted without even going and reading at least few chapters. Few chapters are there which are big, bulky, but after that, even you can finish 5 6 chapters in a day when you go towards the last. There are very small chapters also that are there, particularly the chapters on the constitutional bodies, etc. Very small chapters. Okay, so try to find your own pace. Now, moving on. Indian Himalayan region needs its own EIA, environmental impact assessment. Now let's read what this particular article is talking about. This particular article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 3. GS paper number 3, environment versus development. Environment versus development. And on the similar line, in GS paper number 4 also this particular topic can be seen. GS paper number 4 also it can be seen. Now, moving on, and let's start with the discussion. So basically, if you are following the newspaper analysis regularly, you might have seen this particular thing in the news also, that recently there was the flooding in the Sikkim region, and because of that particular flooding, Tista Dam, it has breached. Tista Dam got breached. Tista Dam got damaged. Before that, we have seen that there were the floods and landslides in Himachal Pradesh. Okay. We have seen last year that in Uttarakhand, there was the town of Joshimath that was sinking. So every year we find that one or the other Himalayan state is facing a kind of a danger. It is facing some kind of a catastrophes. It is because of the development that we have carried in the mountains. It is not sustainable. And for that particular thing, there is a tool that already is there, and that is EIA. EIA stands for Environment Impact Assessment. EIA, it stands for Environment Impact Assessment. Now, what is Environment Impact Assessment? So it is a process defined by United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. It is defined as a tool to identify the environmental, social and economic impacts of a project before it is implemented. Let's take one example to understand this thing. Suppose there are these Himalayan mountains, and in Himalayan mountains, let's say there is this particular river that is flowing. Now government comes out with an idea that we will develop a hydropower project on this particular river. Now, if you develop the hydropower project, a lot of water will be collected in the reservoir. It might lead to earthquake. Okay, a lot of forest will be submerged. What will environmental impact of this project? Social impact. Now, obviously, whenever a project is to be taken up, large number of people have to be removed from that place. Their rehabilitation is to be carried. So what is environmental impact? What is social impact? What is economical impact of a project? You need to study that particular thing thoroughly. And that particular study that is taken up, that particular research that is taken up to understand all these particular implications, it is called as EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. It is called as EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. Okay, environmental impact assessment. Now, when we talk about environmental impact assessment also helps to decide the mitigation strategies. It helps to decide the mitigation strategy. Okay, for example, if 100 unit of damage will be done, how to reduce that particular damage to 20 units, 15 units. So mitigation, how to be carried. All these particular things are taken up by the EIA. Now, so EIA is a tool which can help us to mitigate the environmental dangers, can help to understand the implications of projects. Now, India has already adopted the EIA way back in 1994. So in 1994, the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, under the Environmental Protection Act 1986, incorporated the EIA Environmental Impact Assessment. And it was provided that environmental impact assessment has to be done before any project is taken up. Before any project is taken up. And it was said that it is mandatory for environmental clearance. So before a project, environmental clearance is to be taken up, and environmental clearance will not be given until and unless there is no EIA. And since adopting EIA in 1994, 12 amendments have been done in EIA in the next 11 years. In the next 11 years, 12 amendment was done. And finally, 2006 EIA came. Okay. Now it has been provided this particular thing that in 2006, when the new EIA came, a lot of decentralization of power happened. Even the state governments were given the power to issue environmental clearance, to issue environmental impact assessment clearance in certain cases, And recently in 2020, the draft EIA, new environmental impact assessment, has come. Now, the point that this particular article is making, is saying this particular thing that with every amendment, EIA has actually got diluted. And this particular thing has been made as pro-industry. It has been made as a pro-industry. Means industry is being given a free hand to develop a project in forest without giving due consideration to environment. Okay. Now, article says this particular thing that when we talk about EIA, specifically, we need to understand that Indian Himalayan region, it is specifically more vulnerable. It has more vulnerabilities. It is very fragile region, and Indian Himalayan region needs to be considered as a separate entity, and a specific IHR, Indian Himalayan region based EIA regulations, EIA standards need to be there in India. Now, it has been said that when we talk about India, India has taken up a graded approach. Means projects which are coming up within the protected forest, reserved forest, national park, tiger habitat. These particular projects have been taken up. On these projects, more scrutiny has been taken up. On these projects, more focus has been given up. Okay. Now, the same thing needs to be applied to the Indian Himalayan region. Whenever a project is being considered, we need to see that Himalaya, it is inherently vulnerable to extreme weather conditions, heavy rains, flash floods, landslides. And keeping this particular thing in mind, only after keeping this thing in mind and seeing that what impact will be there, environmental clearance is to be given up. Moreover, here there is one very important judgment also, Supreme Judgment of Supreme Court. This is Lafarge Mining Private Limited, T.N. Godvarman, okay, versus Union of India. Now, in this particular case, Supreme Court recognized this particular thing that EIA is being given. State governments are also giving EIA. Central government is also giving EIA. But there is no regulator to see that whether EIA is being given to the objective ground or not. There might be possibility that industry has given some money, and on that particular basis, a very fast EIA approval was given. So whether EIA processes are objective, whether they are being taken up by keeping all the due regards in mind, yes or no, that thing has to be checked up by a dedicated regulator. So there is no regulator at the national level. It should also be brought. So these are all the things that have been provided in this particular article. I hope, guys, that you have understood it. Now, moving on to the next article. Okay, moving on. Good morning, sir. I started UPSC preparation 7 months ago. I am Tamil student. I understand English, but can't speak. Okay, guys, this is a very common doubt that often comes. Okay, that I can understand English, I cannot speak English. Now, now listen, there is one liner answer to this thing. Speaking English or speaking any language is a skill. Now, point is that you don't speak a language, therefore you don't get confidence in a language, and because you don't get a confidence in the language, you don't speak it. So this is a vicious circle that is there. It will take some time. Now, a question I want to ask, that you say that I cannot speak, is it in your mind or you have tried? 99% of the cases, the students, in their mind only, they have this perception that I cannot do this, I cannot do this, I cannot do this, I'm bad at this, I'm bad at this. Actually, on table, they have not set, and actually they have not done that thing. Okay, one thing. So my point is that start doing a thing, number one. Number two, even when you start doing it, it will take a certain time when you will be able to pick that particular thing. So 7 months is nothing. When you here we are talking about a language. So for a language, 7 months is nothing. Okay. So it will take some time. Okay. And secondly, UPSC does not judges you that how fluent speaker of English you are. UPSC sees the content of your content, how much content you are having. So this is not very much relevant for UPSC. Confronting the long-term risk of artificial intelligence. Now, what is this article all about? So article is all about the artificial intelligence that is being used today in every walk of life. Generative AI such as Chat GPT. Today we see artificial intelligence is being used into the drug discovery. Artificial intelligence is being used to make some is being used to replace the repetitive tasks that are there humans were doing. Now, article says this particular thing that actually today with the adoption of AI, long-term risks are also there. Long-term risks are also there. Yuval Noah Harari. Now, Yuval Noah Harari is the one who has written the book Sapiens, Homo Deus, and 21 Ideas for 21st Century. So, very prolific writer and a thought-provocative person. Fine. Now, he says this particular thing that what is happening today, artificial intelligence and biotechnology, they are going to get merged, and fundamentally they can alter the human existence. They can manipulate the human emotions, thoughts, desires. Okay. Moreover, it has also been provided by a recent study that was published by the Center for AI Safety. They said this particular thing that 360 artificial intelligence professionals, they have provided this particular thing that artificial intelligence can pose a lot of risks in the future. So therefore it is saying that we need to deal with AI, we need to regulate AI properly today. So today there is the human level AI that has developed, which is outperforming the human cognitive task, it is competing with the human. Now human level AI. Okay, for example, there is a data. Suppose there is a video editor. Now human, suppose, okay, suppose I want to get my video edited, and for getting the video edited, I need to hire a video editor. I will give some money to that video editor. He will edit my video, will use his ideas, will use his knowledge, and that. Tomorrow, artificial intelligence will come, which can edit the videos. And there is a possibility that artificial intelligence can edit far more better videos than a human. So these are the human level AIs which are competing with the human skills and can outperform the human. Okay, over a period of time, these AIs, they undergo self improvement, and these human AIs, they can become the super intelligent and can outpace the human. Now, who will be the responsible for such job losses that will happen? Who will be responsible? Then second thing that has coming out is that world does not have a unified approach how to deal with AI. Okay, every country has some different standard of regulating the AI. For example, European Union has come out with the risk-based approach of AI. What they are doing, they will assess that how much risk is there by using AI in particular field. Where AI will have exceptional risks, will not use AI. Where UI will have high AI will have high risk, we will use it with caution. Where AI is not having much risk, we will use it liberally. Okay, but use just focusing on risk approach is a very oversimplified approach. It might not be taking in account the long-term impacts of adopting AI today. Today adopting an AI in a particular sphere might not look problematic, but tomorrow it can have the problem. So it is being said that today we need to take a more holistic view of AI, and only on the basis of holistic understanding of AI regulation is to be taken up. AI regulation is to be taken up. And international community in the past have taken up many treaties to stop the proliferation of certain things. For example, there was the treaty on the non-proliferation that was taken up so that the nuclear weapons don't cannot be used for destructive purpose. In the same way as in the past we have come out with treaties, today we need to come out with a dedicated treaties to regulate AI, artificial intelligence. So this is something that needs to be focused on today. So that is all guys about this particular article, and this article's implication can be for GS paper number 4, ethics of AI. Ethics of AI, artificial intelligence. So that is all guys about it. Now taking up the main practice question for today. So question for today. Okay. So it reads, India need to adopt innovative and collaborative approach for improved management, conservation and availability of scarce water resources. Comment. Now this is an article that we have taken up from the yesterday's article, where on entire water management one article we have taken up. Okay, so please guys see this particular and attempt this particular question. Okay, so that is all guys about it. I hope that you have understood it, and now we'll be moving to the now this is all about the today. Okay, and with this we come to an end to the today's session. Now we'll be meeting tomorrow. Until then, please take care of yourselves. And just a minute guys, I will also give you one more question. I will also give you one more question. Okay, in case you have attempted it, there is one more question. Despite an understanding of the fragility of Indian Himalayan region, there is a scant acknowledgement of its need for a different set of environmental standards and clearance. Analyze. Okay, analyze. GS paper number 3 question. Okay, so that is all guys about it. Fine. So that is all about it. Now we'll meet tomorrow. Till then, please take care of yourselves guys.